Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, King Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about Wargaming doing something good for the game. Yes, you heard that right. Something good for the game that actually loses the money. Yep, that's crazy. Wargaming is known for being one of the stingiest companies out there. Just recently, they changed how collectors work. The BTSV is a tier 3 collector, and I can sell it for 1,000 gold. However, if I wanted to buy it back, I need to spend 2,000 gold. You're literally losing 1,000 gold if you want to get the tank back. You can imagine if it's a tier 10, which normally costs 7,500 gold, and you sell it, well, now you have to spend 15,000 gold to get it back. I think the majority of people that are watching today's video will agree the collector changes were really bad and incredibly annoying. Now, they don't affect me too much because I already have 99% of the vehicles in the game, but it is incredibly disappointing to see Wargaming when they add super stingy practices like this. However, crew skills are going to be removed from the game next update. Now, let me explain what I mean, because crew has a lot of different things. Obviously, you have your crew over here, which has a bunch of different things you can train and give you a bunch of different capabilities. These are all completely busted, and I've talked about this in the past, but it basically gives experienced players a massive advantage over inexperienced players. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the crew system and how Wargaming is massively overhauling it. So, if you get your hands on a new Tier 5 tank, right? We've got the DSPZINZ here, which is a Tier 5 vehicle. If I purchase this tank, because it's Tier 5, as you'll notice, we instantly have a crew fully equipped. I've never played this tank before. You can see my garage. I have 0 battles. It doesn't even come up. And yet, at Tier 5, I have a full crew trained on it. This is the case for any Tier 5 and below, as Wargaming removed crew training from Tier 5 and below maybe 3 or 4 years ago, a long time ago. Purchasing premiums also does not require you to grind crew skills whatsoever. So if you have a premium or a collector, let's say you purchased a new Stritzvon K or a Caro, if you get this tank, it will have 100% crew. Good example to show this is my Eric Concept 1 has 100% crew, and I've only played 4 games in it. Normally a tier 9, if you're starting off at 50% crew, would take you 50 games to get it to 100%. Now, obviously, you have game modes, but nobody wants to spam game modes for hours to just get their crew trained to make their tank perform better. If you are purchasing a new tech tree, this is where crew does become really annoying. So let's say I wanted to get my hands on the CS44, which is a tier 7 Polish medium. First of all, I have to purchase the tank. Then I have the option of crew. So basic training is 50%. 100,000 credits gives you regimental school, and then 650 gold gives you full training. If it's a higher tier, it costs more. So a tier 10 is going to cost you 1,000 gold and 250k credits or whatever. This does get quite expensive, especially because it's still only 75% crew, and you need to train it even more. People don't realize how much of a difference crew training makes, but it's insane. Look at my stats from 50% to 100%. First of all, my view range goes up 53 meters. I gain 400 damage per minute. My aiming time gets 2 seconds better. My everything gets better. Like, everything. My dispersion gets 0.1 better. That is double of what Refined Gun would normally do. But, as of now, I have to spend gold to get it to that max crew, unless I want to spam battles in this vehicle, stock without equipment, in ratings, or realistic. Well, actually, you can't do it in ratings because it has to be fully upgraded tank, so it would have to be a game mode. The point being, crew grinding is incredibly just boring. It wastes time. It makes your stats worse than they normally would be, and it's why a lot of super unicums like myself end up purchasing the crew for 1,000 gold rather than grinding it. I mean, you might see some free-to-play players grinding, and that's what I've done on my free-to-play EU account. You will see me a lot of the time grinding my crew in game modes. And that's really the only way to do it, because unless you want to tank your stats, that's the only option. But next update, Wargaming's removing this. Like, entirely. Any tank you get will instantly be trained to 100% crew. This is huge. Now, my guess the reason Wargaming's doing this is because they've done some analytics and polls, and they've realized that a lot of their players, after getting a tier 5, making it to tier 6, have a massive damage drop-off and capability drop-off compared to their counterparts. I mean, again, look at the difference in stats here. Imagine you're in a brand new tier 7 with no crew versus me in my fully upgraded tier 7. Sure, the tanks might be the same. You might even be fully upgraded. But obviously, one tank has a flat advantage over the other tank, which is a little bit ridiculous. Now, there are some ways that you could mitigate crew grinding by having boosters, but again, nobody has an unlimited supply of boosters. And if you're grinding a lot of lines, it is easily one of the most annoying things ever. So I actually give Wargaming credit. The fact that they are removing this, the fact that any tank you get from tier 5 and up now is going to come with a 100% crew is easily one of the best changes that I think the game has ever seen. Because I remember when I started playing this game, crew grinding literally made me want to shoot myself. It was awful. Nobody likes crew grinding, trust me. Nobody. So this is really good to see. And I hope that this continues with other things as well. Crew skills is a massively flawed system, if you ask me, mainly down to the fact that it benefits people that have played more games. I am a pretty skilled player on my EU account. You know, I've got over 4,000 average damage. And on that account, I am in the new matchmaker because it's under 5,000 battles. And I'm smart enough to understand which crew skills to grind, and because I'm a really good player and I'm able to farm and take advantage of people easier, it allows me to grind those crew skills faster. And because of that, I have more view range, I have more accuracy, especially on move, and everything else, camouflage. I mean, the concealment ability alone gives you a 20% camo buff. It is huge what these crew skills do, and people do not realize how much of an impact they make in the game. Wargaming removing that grind to 100% your crew means that you are no longer wasting hundreds, if not thousands of battles on grinding your crew mastery, and now what you're actually doing is grinding your crew skills. So this is, in general, a massive change. It is going to allow everybody to perform better in the game. It is going to mean that you don't have to spend gold to get your crew 100%, which is literally going to save me 1,000 gold every tank line that comes out. So I am quite happy about this. I think a lot of people are quite happy about this. So good job to Wargaming. I hope that a lot of other changes like this continue in the future. I hope that Wargaming puts out more tutorials, which they really haven't been doing lately, but yeah, we'll see. We will indeed see what happens. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.